Okey, baik. Assalamualaikum dan selamat pagi. Untuk waktu ini kita bersama-sama dengan Ard Malaysia. Kita bawakan dua tetamu untuk pagi ini. Kita bawakan Encik Nazran Mutalib, pengarah urusan ALM Dagang Sedang Berat dan Sifu Minyak Zaitun. Juga tetamu istimewa dari West Bank Palestine, Tebing Barat. Kita bawakan CEO dan juga Presiden Ard Palestinian Agri Products Company. Kita bawakan Sheikh Ziyad Anabtawi. Assalamualaikum Sheikh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Okey, baik. Saya akan mengendalikan Cik Nazran.
Okey.
Bahasa mudahnya dah Amar akan mengendalikan Sheikh Ziyad lah. Baik, sebelum kita meneruskan, bicara kita yang kita berhenti minggu lalu memang ramai orang yang rindukan Al-Ad dan sebagainya. Mungkin Amar nak tanya dulu sebenarnya apa maksud Al-Ad tu?
Okay, Sheikh, what is the meaning of Al-Ad?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Al-Ard means in English land.
Land.
Yes, or earth.
Okay.
Actually, the word in English earth is originated from the word in Arabic ard. They're somehow related. And land is a brand that we selected for our products and the name of our company. And the concept is there is an association between the tree and the land. So any product that is being farmed or agricultured, somehow it has to be on the land. And the other thing, it's a very important word for the Palestinians because our land was taken, and we with this brand we remember and we make other people notice the importance of the land to our culture and to our present struggle as well.
Okay, is it hard in Palestine nowadays to grow olive plantation?
Actually, we are planting hundreds of thousands of olive trees, but in the meantime, we are facing major actions being taken against that and against the old ancient olive trees that were planted in Palestine by the Israeli settlers. They cut many of those trees, and if not being cut, maybe the farmers being forbidden to reach out to their trees to give them the care that is needed for growing the olives in Palestine.
Because yesterday, in one of the news that we share, it's about the Israeli settlers. They came in and they cut off the trees, accompanied by the Israeli soldiers, which is it's really hard for the Palestinians to defend themselves as well.
Yes.
They come over and take the land just like that?
Yes. Actually, for us, we consider every single individual is in Israel some kind of a member of an army or an offense army. They call themselves defense army, but they're actually offensing all the time.
Okay. What makes Al-Ad olive oil special, sir?
Well, first of all, there is a great what we call social added value, which we admire and we give attention to in our company and in our initiative. When we started this company, we started it as a social investment, basically to help out the Palestinian farmers. And as you all probably know, that our national product in Palestine is olive and olive oil, like the palm oil and the palm in Malaysia. And there were times that the Palestinians and the farmers, they were away from their lands, trying to make a living by working as laborers in certain fields, even in Israel. And that that was a very critical thing for us Palestinians. So at a certain time, also at the beginning of after the 2002 to 2003, the farmers in Palestine suffered from a huge surplus of olive oil at that year due to good harvest and good year. So they were not marketable.
Okay.
And we were called upon as business people to help in exporting their product, and that's where the whole idea started. And then we put our plan, and it was a marketing action plan.
Okay.
We targeted our markets worldwide, especially the markets that really can accept Palestinian products on a premium level, like the Gulf countries and mainly the Muslim countries.
Okay.
So the olive oil in Al-Ard carries great values. Now, the nature of olive trees in Palestine is quite unique. The type of trees that were planted, thousands of years ago, were very special and very, very unique. And the olive and the olive oil that comes out of those trees, a very, very unique type of trees, gives us a very unique olive oil that is rich in various ingredients, and mainly the antioxidants that exist in the Palestinian olive oil. And it was, I wouldn't say proven, but it was mentioned in many researches that the highest level of polyphenol that exists in an olive oil exists in the Palestinian olive oil. Okay. And this is somehow, as a result of the barakah that was mentioned in the Quran about this land, the land of Palestine. سبحان الذي بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحان الذي أسرى بعبده من المسجد الحرام إلى المسجد الأقصى الذي باركنا حوله. That is somehow we feel it not only in olive and olive oil. Most of the agricultural products that are planted in the land of Palestine, frankly speaking, has some special flavor in comparison with the neighboring countries.
Of higher quality as well.
Definitely.
Yes.
Okay, nak tahu Cik Nazran, kalau kita tengok buah zaitun dia memang ada dekat mana-mana lah. Tapi macam mana Cik Nazran kata tak nak tempat lain, nak pilih Palestin juga? Sedangkan kita tahu Palestin tu negara yang bergolak.
Bagi saya, kenapa saya pilih Palestin sebelum ni, walaupun orang kata minyak zaitun daripada Itali bagus, daripada Spain bagus, daripada Greece bagus, saya pilih Palestin sebabnya kita nak amalkan apa yang saya sebut sebagai cara hidup alami. Ya, bila kita sebut alami ini, kita balik kepada asal, kepada yang basic. Kita buka dalam buku kita ialah kita buka Al-Quran Mukarim, di mana tempat asal pokok zaitun tu. Kalau Allah Ta'ala turunkan pokok zaitun tu di bumi Palestin yang diberkati, takkan Allah Ta'ala jadikan minyak zaitun daripada negara lain lebih bagus. Nah, jadi atas dasar ni saya pegang tempat asal pokok zaitun di bumi Palestin. Di Palestin lah saya kembali, di Palestin lah saya mencari produk minyak zaitun yang terbaik, dan alhamdulillah saya ditemukan dengan Al-Ard.
Itu memang macam Cik Nazran memang cari betul-betul, ataupun macam dengar kebaikan, kaji dulu baru pergi cari, atau mana datang dulu, cari dulu, kaji dulu?
Pada mulanya memang saya ni seorang pengamal minyak zaitun. Saya gunakan dalam masakan. Kalau kata di Malaysia ni belum ada lagi minyak zaitun Palestin. Pada mulanya saya mula amalkan daripada tahun 2004. Kita beli minyak zaitun di supermarket saja. Kan, setelah berbotol-botol beli pada supermarket, lepas tu saya dapat peluang untuk keluar negara apa semua. Kita tengok kenapa minyak zaitun di luar negara berbeza. Beza daripada segi botol, ada botol kaca gelap, beza daripada segi rasa, nama yang berbeza, nama pokok yang berbeza. Jadi yang benda ni semua menarik minat saya. Lepas tu bila sampai ke satu peringkat yang mana saya nak mulakan perniagaan sendiri, dan saya pilih produk minyak zaitun untuk menjadi produk utama saya. Kan, jadi bila kita nak memulakan perniagaan, kita kena cari produk yang akan mendapat pilihan ramai. Jadi kalau kata minyak zaitun terbaik di dunia tu mesti dari Palestin, dan hasil keluaran daripada Al-Ard sebab mempunyai standard dan kualiti terbaik sekali.
Okey. Sir, Sheikh, you started in 1963, from what I read in the company's profile. And since then, now it's 2019. What is the struggle that you face with the Israelis to keep your farm and to keep your product, to keep your factory ongoing internationally?
Well, yeah, your 1963 is referred to as the group,
The main group.
the Anabtawi group of companies started in 1963, but the business of olive oil and olives started early this century, 2001, 2002. That's where the idea started.
Okay.
So the struggle remains, first of all, we have suffered since 1967, I would say, up until 1997. That's a solid 30 years. We suffered from ignorance. From no one was looking after this sector as an agricultural sector in Palestine, because the occupation started occupying 1967 land, because our land was taken in 1948, but in 1967 the remaining land of Palestine was taken over by the Israelis. So they were putting plans just to let people, to take people away from their lands, and to push people to emigrate outside the land of Palestine, and that's some kind of apartheid. And the people were always not given attention to their land and to their farming business. So that's one period of time that is really critical, because the land and the tree was totally ignored. Now, when the Palestinian Authority came in the mid-90s, we as Palestinians started to give attention to this field and to the agricultural field, where we feel there was a Ministry of Agriculture and there is a person who's really looking after this sector and giving it attention. This is an example of one of the sectors. I'm sure the other sectors in Palestine suffered the same thing. So yet the suffering remains, even though there is a ministry looking after our affairs as agricultural companies. Still the forceful attitude that remains, and increasingly, actually, the Israelis today are different than the Israelis we saw back in the 70s and the 80s. They're becoming more aggressive. They're going more to the right, and they're being more violent toward the Palestinians in the West Bank and other things. And that's why we see the number of settlements increasing, and that's of course on the account of the lands that is subject to be farmed. Yet I don't know if we can go a little bit into politics. The agreement that was signed in the mid-90s divided the land of the West Bank into three categories: Area A, B, and C. Area A, which is the full control of the Palestinians, including security and economics and everything. Area B, a full control of the Palestinians without security. Area C, no control whatsoever for the Palestinians on Area C. And Area C is the majority of the space, I would say, or the lands are Area C. And that was supposed to be declared as Area A. And also Area B was supposed to be declared as Area A after 5 years of signing this agreement. But this did not materialize. The Israelis did not fulfill their agreement, and that's why the second intifada erupted, because no fulfillment of the agreement that were signed in the mid-90s. So the struggle, my friend, is from all sides, left, right, and center, and we are determined to stay on this land and to remain holding to our land, and we have our passion to our land and to our farming. Contrary to the Israelis, the Israelis are just looking into things from material point of view, because no attachment whatsoever for them to this land. This land means a lot to us, and it means a lot, I know, to many of the Muslims and the Arab people all over the world.
And saying that electricity is
And Christians, by the way. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
that's not
yeah.
limited, because we have Palestinian Christians and
Yeah.
and by the way, in the city of Nablus, we have a community, a Jewish community living inside the city of Nablus, and we're living peacefully
Peacefully.
together.
Yeah, I told my friend, a lot of my friends, that the one that is being bad in Israel is the Zionists, not the Jews.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
I mean, okay, with the restriction of electricity and stuff, it's really hard to keep the factory ongoing, isn't it?
Well, it was to a certain time, but that case is still exists in Gaza, and that's another side of
Another
the coin.
part.
Yes, when we talk about Palestine, that is a surrounded area or a strip. They call it Gaza Strip, surrounded. No goods, no free goods or free movement of goods or people coming in and out of Gaza. They live with 4 hours of electricity per day, due to the fact that the fuel that is needed for the generators to generate electricity is controlled by the people who are surrounding surrounding Gaza.
Right.
Okey, Cik Nazran, kalau dengar cerita memang agak sukar lah keadaan di sana.
Sakit hati.
Geram kan, macam geram macam kita.
Betul.
Cik Nazran pernah sampai ke Palestin?
Alhamdulillah, saya sempat berziarah ke bumi Palestin sebanyak 2 kali, pada tahun 2015 dan juga tahun 2017.
Okey.
Bila di sana tu, bila jumpa dengan orang-orang asing ni, memang rasa geram lah. Kan, rasa macam nak pergi pukul dia, rasa macam nak buat macam-macam kata. Kan, bila kita tengok kepayahan yang dilalui oleh penduduk Palestin di sana. Kalau kata kita tengok para jemaah nak masuk ke Masjid Al-Aqsa pun susah, pintu dikunci dan sebagainya. Bila kita pergi melawat ke kawasan macam di kawasan di Masjid Ibrahimi di Hebron, betapa susahnya keadaan orang di sana kan. Tapi dia ada sedikit kontras juga. Kalau kita ke Nablus, sebuah bandar industri ya. Nablus is an industry city, yang mana kebanyakan kilang-kilang semuanya berpusat di sana, dan juga kawasan sekitar Nablus juga menghasilkan buah-buah zaitun yang berkualiti tinggi. Jadi kita nampak ada sedikit kontras di sana. Di satu tempat, di satu kawasan, penduduk sana mengalami banyak kesusahan, dan di satu kawasan lain masih ada peluang untuk mereka melalui kehidupan seperti biasa, pergi bekerja di pejabat, bekerja di kilang dan sebagainya, dan juga menghasilkan produk-produk yang bahan utamanya dihasilkan oleh para petani di Palestin. Jadi kita jangan salah anggap kata di Palestin tu berlaku perang setiap hari.
Semuanya maksudnya
Dan
di semua kawasan.
dan di semua kawasan. Segala kesusahan sekarang ni kebanyakan berlaku di kawasan Gaza, manakala di kawasan tebing barat masih mereka dapat melalui kehidupan seperti biasa lah. Dan juga industri pun masih juga berjalan seperti biasa, dan Alhamdulillah sehingga masa sekarang syarikat Al-Ard dapat memenuhi permintaan daripada lebih daripada 25 buah negara di seluruh dunia termasuk Malaysia.
Okay. Sheikh, how big is Al-Ard? How big is Al-Ard?
You mean the company?
Yes.
In the
Well-
market share.
In the market share, yeah.
Well, Al-Ard company, first of all, employs more than 50 people. And during the high season and the harvest season, the number increases due to the fact that we hire more people for the harvest and so on. And of course, if we count the indirect labor that works around the Ard, the number is subject to be increased. Probably will definitely exceeds 100. So now Al-Ard, in terms of market and market share, when we started in 2009 to launch and to introduce Al-Ard to the international market, we followed our plan, which I mentioned earlier, and now we have fulfilled this target, alhamdulillah, and our products now available. If we start from the West, in the US, Canada, in Europe, and specifically in the UK, a little bit in France, Germany, and now the Gulf countries. We are so successful, alhamdulillah, in the Gulf countries, and especially in Saudi Arabia. because the consumers in those countries are aware of the importance and the quality of Palestinian olive oil. So I would say Malaysia is the second important country that is really important for Al-Ard because of the success that we're having here, and because of the nature of the consumers here. Really, it's quite impressive to see the people of Malaysia who like to read and to learn and to educate themselves. They don't just buy things. We have really put some effort, and thanks to my brother Nazran, he's quite good in marketing and in communication with the consumers. So we've done many seminars and many introduction to Al-Ard and to its products. Our next destination, hopefully, we've been working together, Nazran and I, on the Indonesian country, but they have some tough routine before being able to import this product. But we are right there. We're just about to inshallah, we're just about to finish all the routine and all the pre-logistics arrangements. Yes, to go into Malaysia, into the Indonesian market. We are already in Japan, Singapore as well, and thank God that our brand Al-Ard has become known. I'm walking around in Kuala Lumpur, and when I talk to people and I mention that I do market the brand Al-Ard, many people really recognizes that thing, and that's quite an accomplishment.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay.
Alhamdulillah.
Berapa lama masa diambil Cik Nazran untuk rakyat Malaysia ni menerima sebab kita tahu bermula di utara
Yes.
Mula kat utara, saya dapat bual dengan Cik Nazran Mula kat utara ambil masa dalam 3 bulan.
Okay.
Kemudian macam mana dia berkembang ke seluruh Malaysia?
Sebenarnya masa awal kita mulakan Al-Ard di Malaysia ni agak susah ya. Kenapa susah? Kita ada satu motto kita sebut sebagai saving good people from bad olive oil.
Yeah.
Jadi kami melakukan banyak kerja-kerja pemulihan ataupun correction work sebenarnya.
Kalau saya cakap kerja-kerja pembersihan lah.
Pembersihan
kan?
Okey, DJ Refa kata lebih bagus pembersihan.
Sebab dia macam kau bagi tahu benda tu bagus tapi sebenarnya tak ada khasiat contohnya.
Betul. Sebab kita tak mahu kita punya pengguna di Malaysia ni tersalah pilih minyak. Sebab kalau kata tersalah pilih nanti dia boleh memudaratkan kesihatan. Jadi cara utama untuk kami menjual dan memperkenalkan produk Al-Ard ialah melalui siri-siri perkongsian ilmu. Sebab itu kita ada di sini di dalam studio Radio Bernama, dan insyaAllah ini ialah kita sebut sebagai musim kedua. Dan kita ada lagi 12 minggu lagi untuk bersama dengan Bernama Radio bersama DJ kita berdua ni, DJ Amar dan juga DJ Rafa, dalam sesi perkongsian ilmu kepada semua pengguna di seluruh Malaysia insyaAllah. Sebabnya kenapa? Sebab kita nak selamatkan orang baik-baik daripada minyak zaitun yang tak seberapa,
yang tak bagus. Ramai orang silap. Mungkin macam Cik Nazran cerita tadi, memang pengalaman minyak zaitun, pergi pusat beli belah, beli minyak zaitun sebelum kenal Al-Ard. Mungkin waktu tu beli dalam botol cerah.
Betul.
Cak, saya ada soalan. Nama isteri Cik Nazran Zaitun ke?
Tak.
Sebab ialah suka sangat minyak
Kalau
zaitun.
kata orang Malaysia sebut zaitun ni, dia ingat ada brand zaitun, brand Muslim dulu kan.
Bukan. Bukan. Tak ada kena-mengena, saja nak tahu. Okey, jadi selalunya apa silap faham masyarakat Malaysia terhadap minyak zaitun? Kita nak tahu juga.
Saya boleh kategorikan salah fahamnya nombor satu tentang cara pemilihan minyak zaitun cara pemilihan minyak zaitun selalunya bila kita ke pasar raya tu kita tengok macam apa yang berlaku dengan saya dululah. Saya cari minyak zaitun yang botol dia paling cantik.
Paling nampak minyak hijau cantik
betul
ni.
Yang nampak minyak dia warna hijau ke warna kuning ke, sebabnya kan botol kaca cerah kita nampak minyak kat dalam tu kan. Jadi kita pun pilih sebab botol dia cantik. Itu adalah kesalahan pertama. Kenapa? Sebabnya minyak zaitun perlu dalam botol kaca gelap. Botol kaca gelap baru dia boleh protect minyak zaitun tu daripada cahaya ultraviolet.
Saya lepas Cik Nazran datang dengan program Rahsia Sihat ni, baru saya tahu kena botol gelap. After he came over, Sheikh, then only I know that olive oil should be in a darker bottle.
Dark glass bottle. Yes.
Not a clear bottle.
Yes, of course, because olive oil is get affected by three things. First of all, temperature, oxygen, and lights. So actually the ideal packaging for olive oil is the tin, because it has a better protection of these things.
Aluminium tin,
Yes, aluminium tin. Yet in Al Ard production, we work and we bottle our oil under nitrogen environment, and we inject nitrogen into the bottles and the tins before we fill them, because we want to get rid of the oxygen inside the bottle and to keep the oxidation away from olive oil.
Yes.
And by the way, when we started this business back in Palestine, due to the ignorance of those 3 decades between 1967, 1997, the farmers and the bottlers were not looking after those details and the importance of these details. And Al Ard, initially, when we started with many seminars, bringing in these farmers and educating them and giving them some tool supports, mats and pickers and how best is to do the farming. And we hired and we brought in some experts from international and local scholars that are quite good and knowledgeable in the culture of olive and olive trees. And luckily today, it makes me so happy when I go around and I speak to the farmers, whether you're speaking to a young man or to an old lady inside the village. Now they have better awareness of how best to deal with olive and olive oil.
Yes.
And by the way, most recently we created a coalition with farmers and many cooperatives, and we have our own special women empowerment programs that really encourage women to do special work in the farming, and that really brought some attention to our values. We have signed a code of ethics with those farmers, and now we have a very sincere social value added on our products.
Yes. And also I would like to add a bit more that Al Ard company is the first olive oil based company in the world to be awarded the ISO 22000.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Awarded ISO.
Yes. The first olive oil company in the world.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember an Italian some Italian team came into our factory when we obtained the ISO 22000, and he said, "Do we really need the ISO 22000?" Now he has it.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
So
Okay.
that I will say set the standards, Yes. And also saya juga nak sebutkan di sini ialah syarikat Al Ard telah dianugerahkan syarikat pengeksport terbaik Palestin untuk tahun 2017. Alhamdulillah. Jadi kita tengah menunggu keputusan untuk tahun 2018 juga. InsyaAllah kalau kata ada rezeki, semoga masih kekal dianugerahkan sebagai pengeksport terbaik kata.
Amin.
Okey. Kalau macam kita yang dah dengar pada musim pertama 13 episod kita cerita tentang kebaikan minyak zaitun Al Ard ni.
Betul.
Tapi mungkin ada yang baru dengar hari ni.
Okey.
Sebab kita adalah awal-awal Cik Nazran kata ada tempat lain lagi yang ada minyak zaitun. Contohnya di Turki pun ada juga.
Betul.
Kan? Dan banyak lagi tempat-tempat lain. Jadi dia dah ragu-ragu. Kenapa I nak pilih Palestin kan negara tu golak kan? Tak bersih, kotor netizen biasalah.
Iyalah.
Bukan saya kan.
Sebabnya dia orang tak pernah tengok, dia orang tak nampak lagi.
Mereka tak tahu, mereka tak mengerti.
Betul kan. Tapi macam yang sebut tadi lah, kata syarikat Al Ard ni syarikat minyak zaitun pertama di dunia yang dianugerah standard ISO 22000. Dan juga dia menerima anugerah sebagai pengeksport terbaik Palestin kata. Kan, jadi daripada segi kualitinya, di kilangnya, dalam urusan memproses, mereka menghasilkan minyak zaitun yang berkualiti tinggi dan juga minyak yang mempunyai kandungan khasiat antioksidan yang lebih tinggi seperti yang Tuan Ziyad sebut tadi. Kebanyakan pokok zaitun di Palestin ialah yang berusia ratusan hingga ke ribuan tahun. Dan juga ada banyak faktor-faktor lain lagi. Kalau kata di Palestin ni, di sekeliling Nablus itu sendiri, pokok zaitun semuanya di kawasan tanah tinggi. Jadi bila dia di kawasan tanah tinggi, dia mendapat cahaya matahari sepanjang hari. Daripada pagi matahari timbul sampai ke senja matahari tenggelam, pokok zaitun menerima cahaya matahari. Dan juga kalau kita tengokkan kajian ya, ada kajian oleh International Olive Oil Council dan dikeluarkan oleh Olive Oil Times, ada menyebut pokok zaitun di kawasan tanah tinggi, olive trees in higher ground we produce oil which has higher amount of antioxidant. Yes, that is a research done. Dan juga buah zaitun yang dipetik dengan tangan sebiji-sebiji menghasilkan kandungan khasiat yang lebih tinggi. Kenapa? Sebab buah tu tak rosak. Buah zaitun tu tak rosak, kulit dia tak pecah, dan orang kata dipetik dengan penuh kasih sayang. Yang tu buat minyak zaitun Palestin ni
dengan penuh
lebih
beradab.
berkualiti dengan penuh beradab kata.
Why the tree on the top of the mountain also gives a better olive and olive oil due to the fact that the tree is more exposed to the sunlight and the fresh air, of course, and most importantly that when it rains, the tree tends to take what it needs from the water, and the remaining of the water proceed down. So when the olive tree is soaked with water, it's not good for the quality of the tree. So that's why we say Ard olive oil is rain fed, no irrigation whatsoever, contrary to what you see in Spain and part of and other high production companies. But in Palestine, we mainly have mountains. If we intend to do irrigation, it's almost impossible because you cannot really do the network of irrigation easily when climbing up the mountain, and you need lots of tools and machines that will really push the water up the hill to the.
And there is no big water source as well.
Yes.
To irrigate the whole farms.
Exactly.
Yes.
One more thing I'd like to add. When we started with olive oil only back in the beginning of the company, we thought that it will be worthwhile to add other products to our basket of products, because it will be more efficient and more effective for us. So the first thing we started after we worked with olive oil, we introduced the olive oil soap. Now, olive oil soap, actually, the city of Nablus is known for its ancient history with producing quality olive oil soap. Actually, at a certain time, Nablus,
4,000 years ago,
in the early last century, had 126 factories of soap. And Nablus was supplying almost the whole Arab world and the Middle East with soap. Up until 1967, when the occupation came in, we stopped. Now Nablus is limited to maybe 5, 6, or 7 factories that are producing soap. So we introduced to the market this soap, and it was well accepted. And most importantly, and heritagely speaking, the za'atar. Za'atar is a traditional meal that we eat almost every morning in different forms, and we really give attention and care to quality. So I would say our za'atar is being now introduced also to the Malaysians here, and it's somehow being accepted. I would say
hot favorite. I would say
yes. Za'atar is the best za'atar money can buy. In addition to za'atar, we have introduced also the black seed oil. Palestinian, we have black seed oil in other countries, but the black seed oil that comes in from the land of Palestine has a strong flavor. Exact case of the olive oil. And last year we introduced what we call black seed based. Black seed based is something that really also Malaysians really
kisha.
Kisha. They call it kisha. You blend it with some honey, and really, I'm really serious about this. It's so important for your immune system, and this is also known from the hadith by Rasulullah Sayyidina Muhammad alayhi salatu wassalam. Yes. And other products, of course. I mean, we have a long list of products, but these are the most important ones for
all of us here inside this conti. We do consume olive oil, black seed oil, and za'atar. We all have those.
Yes.
And I have the soap as well.
Yes, mashallah.
Inshallah. That's going to help us.
As we say in Arabic, sahtain.
Sakhtini's
and good health. Yes,
inshallah.
I wish you good health. Yes.
Okay, Tajul Arif said content of quality olive oil are important to get the maximum medicinal benefits. Cik Laila said you can come over and watch the Palestinian pavilion at Mihas.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is this your first Mihas here?
No, this is my, I don't know. If
This is the
I lost
fifth
count.
Mihas.
I lost count.
Lost count
Kalau kata nak ikutkan, ini ialah Mihas yang ke-6 yang syarikat Al-Ard telah ambil bahagian. Jadi insyaAllah kepada semua para pendengar dan penonton, kami ingin menjemput dan mengalu-alukan kedatangan anda semua ke Palestinian booth kami di Hall 4 di MyTech. Yes, MyTech di Jalan Duta saja. Boleh Google, boleh Waze untuk cari lokasi dia.
Betul.
Dan pameran akan berlangsung sehingga esok ya. Esok pameran akan dibuka kepada orang awam dan dijemput ramai-ramai untuk datang merasai sendiri minyak zaitun Palestin Al-Ard, Zata dan juga Kizha yang kami sediakan untuk semua pengunjung.
Kizha tu apa pula?
Kizha ni dia paste habatus saudah yang dicampur dengan madu lebah tu. Ada specialnya kata DJ Amar. Dan insyaAllah hari ini juga selepas solat Jumaat pada jam 3.30 petang kami dijangka menerima lawatan daripada Seri Paduka Bangida yang di-Pertuan Agong di booth Al-Ard pada jam 3.30 petang ini insyaAllah kata.
Baik,
jadi kami ingin menjemput lebih ramai lah untuk datang bersama-sama dengan kami insyaAllah.
Baik, anda mengunjungi ruang Al-Ard di Pavilion Palestine di Hall 4 MyTech Jalan Duta, atau anda boleh layari jugalah www.alard.my untuk Al-Ard Malaysia lah. Ataupun anda boleh ikuti juga
I forgot to mention sage.
Sage.
Sage is called in Arabic miramiye. In another word, Miriamiye, and that is the herb of our mother Miriam, the mother of Prophet Isa alayhi salam. So this is an important herb that is used by Palestinians in different forms, and it's very very healthy.
I think looking back at the culture of the Sikh road and everything, we here in Malaysia as well use a lot of sage in our cooking as well.
Yeah.
And that's really going to help the marketing as well.
Inshallah.
Okay, you guys can as well follow Ard Malaysia Facebook. I already tagged there. Anabtawi product and Alad's product as well on the live video. And anda juga boleh ikut Sifu minyak zaitun ni. Okay, ada diberitahu tentang apa itu minyak zaitun, jenis-jenis minyak zaitun. Okay, juga ada tentang sejarah minyak zaitun dari Palestin ini sendiri. Palestinian Organic Olive Oil.
Okay, ada yang tanya Cik Nazran, kalau kita ke Pavilion Palestin kan, kita pergi sendiri ke booth ni, ada promosi apa-apa ke?
Ada promosi apa-apa? Okay. Sebenarnya kalau kata untuk pameran Mihas ni, kita gunakan sebagai platform untuk memperkenalkan produk-produk baru. Bukannya untuk jualan-jualan special diskaun dan sebagainya. Sebabnya kalau kata untuk acara jualan istimewa tu, kita akan adakan secara berkala lah, daripada masa ke semasa. Tapi untuk pameran Mihas kali ini kita gunakan untuk pelancaran beberapa produk baru, dan juga kami pada hari pertama juga melancarkan 2 buah buku. Satu itu ialah kita sebut sebagai buku yang ditulis oleh Dr. Dr. Norman Narawi sendiri, yang disebut sebagai Rahsia Alami Minyak Zaitun dari Al-Quran. Jadi Dr. Norman ada buat penjelasan di dalam buku beliau tentang kehebatan minyak zaitun yang seperti yang telah disebut dalam Al-Quran, dan juga mengikut kajian-kajian sains yang terkini.
Okay. Juga ada madu kat sana.
Kalau kata dekat sana kita pun ada madu, tapi kita tak ada buat promosi sikit untuk madu sebab madu tu bukan jenama Al-Ard kata. Madu tu madu Malaysia kata. Kalau kata madu Palestin nak bawa ke sini jauh sangat kata nak bawa kan.
Tapi tetaplah makanan sunnah.
Betul. Tetap sebagai makanan sunnah. Saya cuma nak tambahkan ada lagi satu kepada dia. Sekarang ni ramai orang sebut tentang produk organik. Dia nak makan beras organik, dia nak gula organik, dia nak minyak zaitun organik. Tetapi organik ni ada tak sijil organiknya?
Ataupun hanya sekadar nama.
Betul, ataupun hanya sekadar nama. Jadi kita kena sebut, kata kalau macam produk Al-Ard ni kita ada sijil organik, ada 2 persijilan organik. Daripada standard yang tertinggi di dunia. Kita ada EU organik, kita ada GAS, Japanese Agriculture Standard. Dalam masa yang sama, produk Al-Ard juga mendapat pengiktirafan halal daripada Badan Berkanun Halal Palestine Standard Institute. Yes kan. Jadi dalam masa sama kalau kata siapa yang Google tentang Al-Ard ni, dia tengok ada di sana Al-Ard ni ada mendapat pengiktirafan fair trade. Apa itu fair trade? Fair trade ialah perdagangan secara adil. Adil kepada petani, adil kepada pengusaha dan juga adil kepada pengguna yang mendapat produk berkualiti tinggi dengan harga mampu milik, insya-Allah. Jadi kalau kata untuk pembelian di Jamaah kita ada nombor hotline 019 409 5570, insya-Allah.
InsyaAllah. Juga diberikan persejilan ISO 22000
betul.
Daripada EU European Certification, juga GAS Organic Certified.
Betul tu je Amal kata.
Okey. Baik, saya rasa itu saja waktu yang kita ada ni, Pak.
Betul, kita perlu berakhir di sini. Terima kasih banyak-banyak kita cakap kepada Cik Nazran. InsyaAllah minggu depan kita jumpa lagi. Dan juga kepada tamu kita dari jauh, Ma.
Thank you to Sheikh Ziyad Anabtawi. Thank you, Sheikh. Shukran jazilan.
Shukran ilkum. Thank you very much. I really enjoyed the show.
Thank you, sir. You should come back then.
Yeah.
I will.
Okey, baik, dan kita juga perlu berakhir di sini Ahmad Yusof untuk beri laluan kepada rakan peneraju kita yang seterusnya menerusi janji temu serta berinformasi dan berilmu.
Baik, saya mewakili penerbit berita Farid Ahmad, juga Hashmar Hashim. Pengawal kandungannya Hashmar Hashim, saya Ahmad Yusof.
Saya Raifa Zulkifli. Selamat tinggal amarku.
Assalamualaikum.
Bye-bye.